Roman Reigns returning after WWE star turns heel, and 4 other things that could happen on Raw. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer, have a nice day. For the WWE family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Thank you. The upcoming episode of WWE Raw is set to emanate live from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. As of now, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, and other stars have advertised to make their presence felt. Besides this, the Triple H-led creative team has announced a few massive matches for the card. It includes an Intercontinental Championship match, with Dominic Mysterio set to defend his gold against Rusev. The USOs are also set to be in action in a Tornado Tag Team match against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. In this article, we will look at 5 things that could happen on the latest episode of the Red Brands show. Jimmy and Jey USO are set to face Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in a Tornado Tag Team match this coming Monday night. Over the past few weeks, we have seen major hints alluding to the potential heel turn of the Yeet Master. If the USOs suffer a loss on WWE Raw, Jey might finally turn on his real-life brother. If this character switch takes place, then it's likely that Roman Reigns will make his return to weekly programming on the Monday night show to settle the dispute between the USOs. Additionally, if Jey surprises Jimmy with an attack after his potential heel turn, the OTC may come to Jimmy's aid. Rusev will challenge Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship on the upcoming episode of WWE Raw. Last week, we saw that Finn Balor was unhappy with Dirty Dom. So, on this week's episode of the company's flagship show, the Prince may finally betray Dominic, allowing Rusev to capitalize and become the new title holder. The feud between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch is expected to continue on Monday Night Raw. While the Black Widow didn't appear on last week's episode of the Red Brands show, she might show up this Monday and lay out a challenge to the man. The former WWE Divas champion could challenge Becky to put the Women's Intercontinental title on the line at Crown Jewel. The premium live event will take place in Perth, Australia, on October 11th. General Manager Adam Pearce could later make the match official. The Vision attacked undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes on the latest episode of SmackDown, but Randy Orton eventually evened the odds and rescued his real-life friend. The American Nightmare is set to face World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship in Perth on October 11th. Due to this, Rhodes is expected to appear on this week's Raw. If this happens and the Vision attacks Rhodes again, then CM Punk might show up and help Cody fight back. The Second City Saints' actions could then lead to Rollins versus Punk following the Crown Jewel PLE. If their confrontation takes place ahead of Crown Jewel, presumably this Monday, then the creative team can book a singles match between the former WWE Tag Team Champions. The upcoming episode of Raw is expected to be a blockbuster show, as Crown Jewel 2025 is on the horizon. Several major things have been advertised so far, including an Intercontinental Championship match. The show will air live from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Although the timing of Raw will vary, the excitement and action will remain the same. However, what will remain the biggest highlight is how the show goes off-air. WWE often books the most important match or segment for the end to maximize its impact. Therefore, fans expect the same for tonight. From Roman Reigns' return to a major betrayal, there are several ways the September 22nd edition of Monday Night Raw can end. Jey USO and Jimmy USO are set to battle Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in a huge Tornado Tag Team match tonight. There is a high chance that this could be the main event of Raw. The Vision members could grab a big victory over the USOs, yet again showcasing their dominance. Following the tag team match, Breaker may deliver several spears on the duo. This could be followed by Reed landing multiple tsunamis off the top rope. The Vision members could leave Jey and Jimmy USO down in the ring, standing tall as Raw goes off the air. CM Punk has been absent from WWE television since competing at WrestlePalooza. However, the best in the world may finally return tonight. Following the end of the Tornado Tag Team match, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed could begin a ruthless attack on the USOs. Just then, Punk could make a stunning return and save the babyface duo. He could storm into the ring with a steel chair and fight off the Vision members. The Second City Saint could send Breaker and Reed retreating. Following that, CM Punk may embrace Jay and Jimmy USO. Meanwhile, the Vision members could stand at the ramp, frustrated while staring at the three superstars in the ring as Raw goes dark. Jay USO and Jimmy USO have been at odds for the past few weeks. The two superstars may not be able to coexist tonight during their tag team match against the Vision. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed could take advantage of this very situation and steal a victory over the USOs. However, another defeat might not sit well with the Yeet Master. In a shocking turn of events, Jay USO could turn on his brother out of frustration. He could surprise Big Jim with a huge super kick, leaving the entire arena in stunned silence. Following that, the former Intercontinental Champion may walk away from the ring, disappointed. With this, the show could go off air. The USOs could shock the world and grab a huge victory over the Vision in the Tornado Tag Team match tonight. However, their celebrations may not last long as Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed might launch a post-match beatdown on them. Just when the USOs would be in trouble, Roman Reigns' theme song could echo in the arena, leaving the crowd electrified. The OTC may return and take down both superstars. He could overpower Breaker and Reed and save the USOs from further damage. Following this, Reigns could help Jay USO and Jimmy USO get back on their feet. The OG Bloodline members could stand tall in the ring, showing solidarity with Monday Night Raw going off air. Oba Femi lost the NXT Championship to Ricky Saints this past weekend at No Mercy, seemingly marking the end of his tenure with the developmental brand. An NIL program graduate, Femi's run featured two long and dominant title reigns, first with the NXT North American Championship and then the NXT Championship. With Femi's main roster debut imminent, fans have been speculating about how one of NXT's greatest prospects ever will make the transition and fare on Raw and SmackDown. In this article, we shall make 3 predictions for Oba Femi on WWE's main roster. Oba Femi is very likely to be initially called up to Friday Night SmackDown, and not Monday Night Raw. The blue brand needs freshness, and would also be a better environment for Femi, considering how star-studded Raw currently is. Over time, Femi would, of course, be drafted to Raw or SmackDown based on where WWE wants to fit him, but for now, SmackDown seems to be the much better fit. Friday nights need Femi, and Femi needs to be prominently showcased. Working off the previous point, SmackDown as a show is lacking a lot, but Sami Zayn's arrival and United States Championship Open challenges have been, perhaps, the best part of WWE TV over the past few weeks. It stands to reason that WWE would want Femi to debut with a bang. Sami Zayn's Open challenges would be the perfect setup for the same. Last year, Sami dropped the Intercontinental Championship to Braun Breaker after having defeated Gunther at WrestleMania. However, he did so after a win over Breaker. WWE may go a slightly different route in this case, albeit applying the same concept. If Oba makes his SmackDown debut in an Open challenge and beats Sami Zayn for the WWE United States Championship. Much like Gunther or Braun Breaker or Drew McIntyre, Oba Femi has future world champion written all over him. A lot of stars from NXT's Black and Gold era, truly the golden period in the brand's history, failed to make the impact anticipated on the main roster following stellar NXT runs. Reasons included drastic changes in presentation, the pandemic, favoritism, injuries, and more. The Nigerian, however, is not expected to fall into this category. Yes, there is a change in regime in NXT and on the main roster, but Triple H and Shawn Michaels clearly work more aligned than Vince McMahon and Triple H did. And if McMahon were still at the helm, he'd probably be glad to have someone like Oba Femi on his talent roster too. It may be a bit too early to predict Oba's future, but it would be unrealistic to say he does not have world champion potential. To build to that, however, a lot of time, patience, commitment, and work are required on the part of WWE's creative team. Brock Lesnar is back in WWE for what will likely be his final run, which means he has only a handful of matches left. While he reportedly has something major planned for WrestleMania 42, he probably has a couple of more years left competing in the squared circle too. Besides Braun Breaker and Gunther, if there is one man who stands out as a potential Brock Lesnar opponent, it is now Oba Femi. And if there is one man who could benefit the most from being the one to earn a career-defining victory over Lesnar, it would be Oba Femi too. Gunther, after all, is already established. Braun Breaker will be quite soon. But Femi still has ways to go, given that he has not even made his main roster debut yet. This may be a bold prediction, but it is most certainly plausible and logical. Femi could be the man to retire Brock Lesnar, possibly at a SummerSlam or WrestleMania. The past few weeks have seen Jey Uso's mental state deteriorate with each passing episode of Monday Night Raw. There is a lot he is wrestling and struggling with. The Vision, being whom he is actively feuding with, or LA Knight, with whom he has ignited a heated conflict. But that's just the surface of it all. It all goes deeper, doesn't it? The real struggle we witness Jey portray on screen is that of someone who is struggling with ambition, failure, inadequacy, family dynamics, and indeed, the knowledge of confronting the dark path one can see themselves heading down. So, when that struggle, when that darkness continues to intensify, when one's twin brother comes back to help one through first the outer conflicts and then the inner conflicts, that further complicates everything. Contrary to what one would have hoped, it creates new internal and external conflicts. It also creates a new fear of what the darkness within may soon manifest itself into. And when one has been on different ends of similar conflicts as a part of the bloodline, there is a concerning precedent to be wary of. What if this internal turmoil leads to Jey fracturing his relationship with Jimmy again? We have already seen that to an extent with Jey and Jimmy. And there is a similar story that can be told between Jey and Cody Rhodes, seeds having been planted last week on Raw. At this point, and this is hope and possibility and not a sure thing, for Jey Uso may already be too far gone. There is only one man who can get him out of the state he is in. It is not Cody. It is not Big Jim. It is not Sami Zayn. The only man who can save Jey, and the only man who can save his family, is the OTC, Roman Reigns. Reigns, after all, has been through it all. He has coerced and manipulated his family in his quest to stay on top. Jey Uso, having had a taste of the same, does not yet know what to do. But remember, the tribal chief was only born in 2020. The big dog first got to the top of the mountain 5 years before that. But here's the thing. Has Roman Reigns truly grown enough as a character to the point that he can understand Jey Uso's struggles and actually have the patience and willingness to help him through it? Or will Reigns' return further escalate tensions within Jey Uso and the bloodline? And given how two major points in Jey's descent into what he is becoming have been a recent conversation with Reigns and Reigns being taken out by the Bronsons, is there another game of manipulation going on? There are a lot of questions that need answering here, and tomorrow night's Monday Night Raw may do so to an extent, especially if the OTC makes his return to WWE less than 24 hours from now. However, whenever he does return, one thing is abundantly clear. The Bloodline saga is back, and Roman Reigns' return will only make it all the more captivating. And regardless of all that could go wrong, the only way Jey can be saved is for Roman Reigns to fulfill his duty as a true tribal chief that he never could truly become. Never let a good crisis go to waste, they say. Well, Jey Uso's descent into turmoil provides Roman Reigns with the opportunity to realize his own destiny and help his former right-hand